All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case over on Rumble, of course, where you have to start it and then pause it. Otherwise, I have to see myself in triplicate. It's a little bit jarring, actually. I'm not a big fan of that. We'll be talking about some interesting news today. First and foremost, Kamala Harris has really become the candidate of corporate money. Like after the DNC, they were bragging about how much money the campaign made on that night and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, how much of that was small donors? Yeah, the banksters said, well, we didn't believe that Biden could win, but we believe that Kamala at least has a shot. So, she is the uniparty candidate. Okay, we'll invest a few $1 million, stuff like that. We'll be talking about the debate shenanigans going on. I did make a one-off video this morning about the topic, but at the same time, it bears mentioning in a live stream because these are severe shenanigans, actually. The CNN article on the subject was absolutely atrocious, actually. Again, I talked about it this morning. We'll talk about it again. We've got Kamala and her connection to the failed withdrawal from Afghanistan. That's been a problem. It's a little bit of a difficulty for the administration on this third-year anniversary of the failed withdrawal. We'll get into that as well. I won't try to explain like Pashtun culture and stuff like I did in the morning video on the subject because it'll just run on. It'll be excessive. It'll take like fucking 10 minutes to explain it. But there is a connection there with Kamala Harris. Finally, the Democrats have found Trump's Achilles heel. Ridicule him. Yeah, you haven't been doing that for the last 10 years. You found his Achilles heel, I'm sure. It turns out that you can run electrolysis through the sandy soil on beaches, and you can actually turn it into a kind of a form of limestone. They're experimenting with this to try to aggregate the material and therefore stop erosion of coastlines. There are easier methods to accomplish this, but that's what they're talking about doing. And then we'll talk about the Fermi paradox, of course, and alien life. So we get some science news. Ruron Sticks, do you support Kari Lake for United States Senate? She has been endorsed by President Trump and is 100% America first. Yes, I do support Kari Lake for the Senate. Will she win? That remains to be seen. Tigers are my totem, sent $5. No comment. Thank you very much. I see that Nipple Rot is over on Rumble having fun. Fart, 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 fart. Interesting. Very prosaic, highly intellectual commentary sometimes. By the way, mix ice cold seltzer water with the juice of a lemon, and then you've got the ultimate drink. I wanted to show this off. This is Tasting History by Max Miller. Excellent cookbook. I've cooked a couple of the recipes in here. The Babylonian beets and beef and the Parthian chicken. And a couple people said that they cooked the Parthian chicken as well, and they thought it was delicious. I nailed it on my first attempt. I don't know how exactly I did it because it was the first time I cooked a proper chicken. Platty sent $4.99 and a couple of spoon emojis. Thank you. Yeah, Max Miller of Tasting History. If you haven't checked out his channel, you should definitely do so. It's pretty good. The Golden One also has a cookbook. Well, his wife has a cookbook. I've got that one as well. Then I've got the Gilligan's Island cookbook. I'm a little bit on the eclectic side sometimes. Sal the Hamster. Yes, he's mainly on YouTube. I don't know if he has a Rumble channel. Tasting History with Max Miller. But some of the recipes are delicious. We don't have to be serious on our live streams. I'm not paid to be serious. One thing I thought was funny, pumpkin pie. There was a typo in there. It's supposed to be pumpkin, of course. Parmesan cheese ice cream. Hardtack. Lasagna, but it's not the same lasagna that you're used to. No, this is the old school historical lasagna. A tart of apples. Tarte de communie. Beef with garlic harvester sauce. That sounds pretty good, actually. Potage d'oignon au lait. Onion soup with milk. That sounds good. So basically cream of onion, but like a more old school variety of it. And it's split up into sections with like, you've got like European tradition, old American stuff. And then you've got Asian food like samosas, saag, which is really, really good. Mian Gao. I don't know what that is. So, well, you'd need bamboo leaves to cook it. So, that might be beyond the average person's ability to find the ingredients. Sometimes you have to substitute. Like he had lovage in the Parthian chicken. And I think he said, what was it, celery greens or something like that? You could substitute. So I did, because I couldn't find lovage. Last Beacon saying ping us over and over again. Emperor Soft Turtle, Carrie Lake is an amazing political talent, but the fact she has to run as an R is killing her. Yermo, pumpkin pie is not a typo. Oh, it's not? Okay, well, you just schooled me then. Sir Thomas Drake, stay positive and white-pilled. Clankers, let's start the week right and strong. Lift something heavy or do the task that you've been putting off for a while. For me, that's weeding elements of the garden at the moment. Unfortunately, most of the carrots got destroyed by voles. Quincy has been pulling weight trying to destroy them, but there's only one cat that's capable of hunting them, and so it's a slow task. I'm hoping to reformat the backyard so that the garden is included in a larger fence. Therefore, the cats can be out there like basically whenever they want. That will be very helpful. Mulgera, morning sticks. At the gun show I tabled over the weekend, I got a flintlock, a new revolver, and Ted Kaczynski's manifesto. Hell yeah, I DM'd you pictures. Yes, I saw those. I want to get like a black powder musket or something, like a heavy iron. Razor Fist would approve of that. He doesn't approve of my steak or my pineapple pizza, but he would approve of that. Let's get right into the news, shall we? Harris campaign raises $540 million since launch after raking in $82 million during DNC week. Yes, indeed, she has really shot ahead of Donald Trump with regards to fundraising. I would point out, though, that a large proportion of that money is coming from a handful of corporations and banksters. The reason why they would want Kamala Harris is quite obvious, because she's going to support policies that are corporatistic in manner. They're afraid of Donald Trump. They may not necessarily like Kamala Harris. I have a feeling that some of them think she's a bird brain, and I mean, they'd be right if they think that. But they like her more, or rather, they hate her less. And so she's getting all the big money from banksters and corporations and stuff like that. Big tech is filing in because she's not going to fuck with them. The whole idea is to create a monopolistic, globalistic society in which companies, as long as they toe the line ideologically, and they do whatever the regime tells them to fucking do, Soviet style, they can get limitless investment. They can do whatever they want, exploit people. It's sort of like the Bush Republicans, actually. Part of the Uniparty, definitely part of globalism as well. So that should come as no surprise. Kamala Harris has become the candidate of the big corporations. This is an inversion from what we typically have seen in the past. Yes, there were big corporate donors to Obama and Clinton and all these others, but generally speaking, they tended to lean towards the Republican Party because at least on paper, the Republicans were going to deregulate things more. This does not mean deregulation. They've realized that there are basically two courses that corporations can go on to maximize profit. Either the government deregulates and takes a hands-off approach, so that would be a populistic approach and the right one, or they monopolize. So they get in big with big businesses and big banks and big corporations and big tech, and they give them subsidies and grants and stuff like that, and then there's a kickback. It's basically one hand washing the other. Those particular businesses are going with the latter approach. There are a handful of them that are going with the former approach, like Twitter, for example, under Elon Musk, probably because he was raised in a society that was heavily centralized, South Africa under literal communism, and doesn't like it, doesn't like the way that society functioned. He was then also in Canada for a while. That's becoming more centralized too. Socialism does not work for the average person, but it can work very, very well for your corporate masters. It can work very well for your big banking business partners. So Kamala is raking in the fucking money left and right. The problem is it's not coming from little old granny who donated $19.99. It's coming from the Wall Street dude who wears a suit worth more than your car, who decided to donate 100 grand and stuff like that. That's where the money's coming from. I would also point out that at this point, the big money thing doesn't work as well as it did in the past. In the past, if you raised significantly more money than your opponent, you probably won. These days, those ads on billboards and on TV are rather blunted. Let's see. God damn, that's a lot of chats. Webster's Wares. Good morning, Clankers. Free shipping using code STICKS at websterswares.com. Free shipping on orders over $40. Use code CLANKER2024 for 15% off site-wide. New custom Trump and Sticks merch available. Scott Steiner. Wherever Harris has led, she was corrupt. Her husband is a big casino lobbyist. A judge almost jailed two of her subordinates for illegally using a gun control fund as a slush fund for lavish retreats. Nobody's surprised by this, by the way. Webster's Wares. Sticks Bro, show off that sweet merch, baby. Clankdom come. I will be showing that off. I'm going to be doing another shout-out video actually fairly soon. Raron. Sticks, would you please consider an endorsement video for America First candidates, i.e. for Kari Lake and, of course, President Trump? Well, I endorse Trump pretty much every day. Yeah, I can do a Kari Lake video. That sounds like a good idea. Webster's Wares. I love the right-side theocrats who are astroturfing Trump losing Christian Republicans for not being an abortion hardliner. The shilling is hilarious. He's been the same guy for decades. Haha. Yeah, there are people that are, well, it's not right-wing theocrats mainly, occasionally. Mostly it's leftoids posing as them. It's an astroturf campaign. Writ large. Sebastian Monroe. Sticks. Women taste good. Legacy Media. Sticks admits committing cannibalism. Film at 11. Yeah, no, women's sex drippings, yeah, they taste good. They're delicious. Just saying. Starkiller 32. Hey, Sticks, would you debate Destiny on Harris v. Trump? No, I will not debate Destiny. I've decided not to do that. I had some insider info years ago that led me to believe he's not a good faith actor. And then more evidence thereafter. Joe, Sticks and I once made love. The foreplay was lacking because he said, do you want to fuck or something like that? I said, something like that. Goodness. Yeah, only interested in women. Sorry, Joe. Boobies are good. Vaginas are good. Women's asses. Everything else under the sun. Girls just, they're fun. Just saying, I'm super straight. I can't help it. Trump and Harris campaigns clash over debate rules. We said no changes. Now, here is the interesting part. I don't really give a fuck about the two campaigns squabbling, literally debating over the debate. That's not really even newsworthy. What's newsworthy is that the legacy media, other than Fox and a handful of other sites, are casting it off quite explicitly as though the Trump campaign had a problem with the debate rules. But that's the opposite of the truth. The truth is that the Harris campaign, last minute, of course, wants to change the debate rules in order to allow unlimited microphone access. So like with the CNN debate, and this caused Trump to have a much better debate, by the way, at the time. The microphone was muted when your time was up. So you couldn't speak over your opponent. There are two reasons why the Kamala campaign would want to eliminate that rule, which was agreed upon by both campaigns to begin with. Number one, it allows Trump to do the run-on thing. Number two, it allows Kamala to cut him off and do the girl boss thing and say, I'm speaking. That's basically the only point to this. But the legacy media is casting it off as though the Trump campaign is the one that wants to change the rules, when they're the ones that are quite literally trying to adhere to the original rules. And it's the Kamala campaign that's actually trying to run roughshod over them for the ABC debate in September 10th, I think it is. It's the Kamala campaign that's trying to change the rules. But if you look at CNN's front page right now, you'd never know that. Not unless you dig into the article, of course. It's a lie by structure. First paragraph is basically, well, the Donald Trump campaign disagrees with the Kamala Harris campaign with regards to debate rules. Well, then that would lead you to the insinuation is that the Trump campaign is trying to, at last minute, of course, again, 2 weeks before the debate, change the rules. It's the opposite of reality. And this is how your mind is toyed with on a day-to-day basis by these propagandists. You would never know just looking at the headline, or even, the average person doesn't have the time to read 10 paragraphs of material. They just don't. They've got to work, et cetera, et cetera. Like my work forces me to read these articles, and I try to read them in full because, that's the whole point. But the average person is seeing a tweet. The average person is reading the first couple of sentences. If you just do that from CNN, unlike the Fox News article linked in the description archive, of course, you would think that the Trump campaign was trying to weasel itself around and possibly blunt the debate entirely, which is not actually true. Last week in, are you posting titties? I don't mind it when people randomly send me tit pics and shit like that. It's all good. The Coberto, hello, Chat and Sticks. Is the right winning the culture war now? What are some good skills to learn nowadays besides cooking and gardening? Well, the cooking and gardening is important. Literally anything under the sun. Maybe you're leaning towards carpentry. Maybe you do automotive stuff. Any skill that you learn is potentially marketable. People in the trades, you can actually make a living doing those things. The right winning the culture war. It remains to be seen. Never underestimate their ability to fuck themselves. Joe, did you assume my gender, bigot? Yes. Latin Hero 1818. Are you familiar with the Time Life book series Mysteries of the Unknown? Do you recommend it or know if it's been updated? I'm not familiar with it, so I don't know. Sounds cool. Byron, what's your opinion on two wrongs don't make a right? It feels like citizens get screwed while others can do whatever they want. Example, UK. Yes, the elites follow a different set of rules from the average citizen. No, two wrongs do not make a right. They make two wrongs, actually. Funny girl, not much to say here. Just enjoy your insight and always look forward to your videos. Thanks for always providing facts. Thank you very much. GF Savages, thank you for your work and encouragement. Love your books. I made my first feature film called Cable Circle. It's on my YouTube, Happy 19, and I would love if you would shout it out. Happy 19 Cable Circle. Just a sec, I'll pull it up. I'm not seeing it. Shit. Oh, I'll just pop it into YouTube itself. And let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. Okay, I'll review that later. Yeah. Aidhog. How can it be the case that Trump is enormously ahead in the polls on the issues? On the economy, it isn't even close. Yet the general Trump v. Kamala polls are much closer. Partisan politics, football team mentality, and nothing more. That and a brief Kamala surge because of the Kasich effect. That will wear off after the debate, assuming that it happens. That's why they're trying to punt the debate. The bonus holes. Elon Musk is still a penis head. Yeah, I mean, he's still got the bonus holes banned there for literally no reason. I don't know exactly why. Anyways, let's get to our sponsors. First and foremost, we've got stickslikesmetals.com. I am a Goldco partner, so you can take that link. You can get a free investing kit into gold and silver. Now, it's not just physical gold and silver, although that's what I bought. I bought a bunch of physical silver and can't wait to show it off. It's been shipped. That's been confirmed, so I'm very excited about that. I am a silver monger. I'm a silver stacker. You can also roll over your retirement investment, and you can do this tax-free, apparently. Not sure the methodology, but they can get it done. So again, stickslikesmetals.com. You can get a free investing kit. Keep in mind, right now, we're not exactly sure where the U.S. economy is headed. We could end up with a socialistic regime, or we could end up with one that's more sane. Either way, metals are actually tangibly valuable. Unlike fiat currency, I've explained, you can use it for toilet paper if you want to, like Venezuelans do. But gold and silver are used in electronics, they're used in jewelry, things like that. And so investing in them, in my opinion, is a good idea. I'm happy to work with Goldco. They've got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. I'm not hawking anything cheap, so you're not getting cheap Chinese shit here, number one. And number two, they've been very, very friendly with me, actually. Very understanding of the fact that I'm a little bit of a tech Luddite. And I have a weird schedule. And I exist on 2 different continents. They seem to understand that, so that's actually of import to me. So again, stickslikesmetals.com. I am an official partner with Goldco. I do not represent their company, but I definitely want to promote them. I think everyone should own a little bit of silver. And it just looks good. Even if it's not like a major investment that you're making, it's fun to have silver on hand. You can put it in a chest. You can pretend you're a pirate or something like that. I've actually got a pirate cutlass. My leather cloak kind of looks like a pirate outfit. Maybe I should get a tricorn hat. I think that's a hashtag life goals. So yes, stickslikesmetals.com for your free investing kit. We have cultivated-mind.com, where you can get delicious mushroom pills. There's several varieties available: Radiant Energy, Brain 2, Immune Renew, and so forth. They don't taste nasty, thankfully. They've got various ingredients in them. They're mushroom extracts mainly. I think there's some herbal extracts in them too. Like I think, well, no, turkey tail is a mushroom. One of these, I think, butterfly pea flower, but I think that's the old one. The new one, instead it has oyster mushroom in it. So they, anecdotally speaking, they work for me. They boost my energy. I take them every morning when I remember to do so, which is 90% of the time. We've got pumpkinfirecrafts.us, where you can get bookmarks, keychains, belt chains, engraved spoons, glassware now, and much, much more with the Ouroboros logo etched into it and so forth. Really, really great site. BiltongUSA.com or AntonsUSA.com. All these links are in the description, by the way. Use code STICKS, I believe, for 10% off, or was it free shipping? I think it's free shipping, actually. Delicious meat. I've got some in my mini fridge in the bedroom. They've also got Sticks Hexenhammer mugs, tumblers, and shirts. I can't wait to get down there and see Anton in person and demand some Cabanasi. wickedneedleembroidery.bigcartel.com, where you can get Sticks Hexenhammer hats, actually. Several colors and designs available. Offset, Ouroboros, centralized one. They're good quality. I've got several myself. I keep fucking forgetting to bring one into the room so that I can have it on during the live stream. And I kick myself in the ass for being such an idiot for forgetting to do so. We've got heritageheirloomseedcompany.com, where you can get a seed survival bucket. Many of the plants that I'm growing out back that are generally doing very well, they're from Heritage Heirloom. You can also get Sticks Hexenhammer soap. It's available now. The main blend is clove, cedar, and blueberry, and people seem to like it. There's a new blend that will be available. It's mainly lavender and marjoram. I still need to test that out, but I will say the scent is extremely good. We've got websterswares.com/sticks-wares, or you can just go to the main site, again, using code STICKS. You can get a discount there. They've got various Sticks Hexenhammer merch available. Knives, jackets, metal straws with the Ouroboros on them, of course. You can save some sea turtles. Also, Trump merchandise available there, and other miscellanea. It's quite a store, actually, so there's a lot there. Finally, jamandbean.com. That is JAMNbean.com. The land of Sticks Hexenhammer endorsed coffee. There's a new blend coming soon. Right now, though, the big one's the Costa Rica blend. I've got to say, it's the best coffee I've had. The Sticks blend is on par with it. Like, they're both 10 out of 10s, but it still needs an official name and, you know, packaging and stuff like that, so it's not quite available yet. Goodness. I think that I might have a ragweed allergy. The bonus holes. They accused us of violent speech for expressing constitutionally protected political opinions about capital punishment for corrupt officials and commies. We didn't threaten anyone or engage in incitement. Yeah, I know you showed me that before. It's inexplicable that they would apply that particular thing to you. In a follow-up, Elon promised legal speech would not result in bans. Skirting the line is not illegal. I love to skirt the line myself. Living dangerously is fun. JWT, did you see Kamala's comments on snatching patents? Yes. I'm not going to get to them in this live stream, but I'll probably cover that in the one-off because she's bananas. I mean, and not the good kind of bananas. Like normally bananas are tasty. Can you imagine how Kamala Harris tastes? I'd take any randomly chosen female clanker to give oral to over Kamala Harris. BizJack, pet kitties, grab titties, spend fitties. It ain't about the Washingtons, it's about the Benjamins. Big Willie style. Probably one person will get that reference. BW, Kamala will fall in polls soon. If Trump wins by some miracle, he needs to push laws requiring candidates for office to attend debates by a certain date and networks that are not favorable to the candidate. It should be randomly chosen networks and be available on live stream online, number one. But I agree with the other part, yeah. Webster's Wares. New Trump beanies will be in next week. Clank, the Costa Rica blend is delicious. I want a video of Anton putting his meat in your mouth when you visit. Biltong, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna just open my mouth and he'll hand feed me some Wagyu or something like that. We'll have some fun. Ruron, thank you, Sticks, for willing to create a Kerry Lake endorsement video. Bretling, Kamala tastes like Vegemite that a homeless person shat in. I don't know how Willie Brown did it. He's must be into some weird shit. Maybe he likes eating shit, something like that. Spider Eternal, why do you think so many people are easily led by political rhetoric? Are they really just fucking stupid? Also, did you see Kamala saying 66% of the US population was killed off by COVID? Lol. Yeah, no, I didn't actually. DM me on Twitter with the latter because I didn't actually see it. I think that people are swayed by political rhetoric because of human language being so easily manipulated. I've tried to explain this with linguistics videos before. Language creates an impression in the mind, and so you can control somebody's mind with language potentially, if you've got the charisma to do so. Some of us use this power for good. Most of them, unfortunately, use it to simply, fuck everyone over. Lord of the Ree, a friendly neighborhood. Oh, shit. The chat's going too fast. Anarchist here with a public service announcement. Lampposts exist. This statement exists in its own context and has nothing to do with the current conversation. Yeah, you go to the Netherlands, every lamppost in the goddamn country has been stickered. I totally never put up Hexenhammer stickers when I was in the Netherlands, by the way. I'd never do that. BW, I meant that as a question. Will Kamala fall in polls soon? I believe so. How can no one see she is a coward for running from these debates? It's just a little bit of political theater at the moment, but there is a possibility that she effectively decides not to attend the debates. Yeah. That would, by the way, be disastrous for her campaign. So she's sort of cornered, and Trump needs to understand that. King of Biltong. Biltong is one of the most protein-dense foods in the world and full of B12, zinc, iron, and creatine. Looking for a healthy snack food alternative? Go to BiltongUSA.com. Code STICKS10 for 10% off. Clank. That's what I'm talking about. I'll be eating some later. Lord of the Ree, I'm just saying, lampposts exist. Don't want any of y'all to walk into one and get hurt. Trump 2024 because fuck these people. Clank. I should probably get to the rest of the news, but there's so many chats, it's difficult. The bonus holes. We got a previous ban for saying Putin should nuke Ukraine. Oh, wait, shit. I accidentally skipped one. Joe, look up Show Me Your Genitals by John LaJoy. Trust me, I saw that back in the day. I'm a fan of John LaJoy. The bonus holes. We got a previous ban for saying Putin should nuke Ukraine. Political opinion about military strategy. Then got a permaban after that for saying Putin should nuke Ukraine. Nuke meant Nike. George Gabriel. Guess Styx's marriage is not so happy lately if he makes sexual references that often. I've always been on the edgy side. It's fun to make sexual references. The bonus holes. Basically, Elon is targeting us because we are critical of him for being a lying, censorious piece of crap. Either that or his woke staff are targeting us for obvious reasons. Either way, the buck stops with Elon. Michael Usury, hey Sticks, we know you're pro-choice, but has becoming a father changed some aspects of that view? No, it has not changed my opinion. I do believe that there are limits to abortion. If viability has been achieved, if the woman doesn't want the baby or if her life is in danger, do a C-section. Before that, if there's no viability, I'm simply uncomfortable with the government getting involved. And I think that it should be legal. It should be safe and legal. Webster's Wares, so many super chats because we miss you on the weekend, Sticks. PW, if that isn't a shirt, it needs to be, I went to Roanoke, Texas, and all I got was Anton's meat in my mouth. Or I put Anton's meat in my mouth in Roanoke, Texas. That'd be funny. All right, let's get to more news here. Jesus Christ. Kamala Harris does have some culpability with the Afghanistan withdrawal. There's, again, a link in the description. There's a video clip here where she's talking about this. And apparently she was the last, it's some sort of weird tradition or something. She was the last person in the room when that was called, basically. And then she said she was comfortable with the situation. Number one, it's hilarious because she's trying to do the girl boss thing, but, you know, the old white dude commanded her to be the last person to enter the room. I noticed that wasn't really brought up in the context of this admittedly short and contextualist conversation. Number two, she was directly involved with what was happening in Afghanistan. As I explained this morning, she should have done her homework. This is one of Eisenhower was a master at this. Let me try to explain an element of civics. He had a system for delegating authority and making decisions. And it was sort of like he would do a foursquare. Is it important and is it specifically time sensitive? If it's important and time sensitive, you handle it immediately. If it's important but it's not time sensitive, you delegate. If it's not really important but it is time sensitive, you delegate, but it's different levels. And if it's neither important nor time sensitive, then you don't really get to it when you have time, basically. It doesn't really matter. He was very strategic in this. The Biden administration does the opposite. They focus on nitpicking little things that don't matter. And when something important like this goes on, hey, you're withdrawing after 20 years of war, all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. And it looks like Kamala Harris didn't either. What should have been done is, because it was important and because it was at least somewhat time sensitive, they should have immediately been making preparations, and authority should have been delegated and studies made to say, you know, what should we do? Any reasonable person would have told them it's not a good idea to push back the withdrawal date. Politically speaking, it allows you to take credit for the withdrawal, but the withdrawal is not going to go well if you do that. So you should simply hope beyond hope that the Taliban sticks to the agreement. If they don't, they're going to fight the Afghan military. But they won't have tribal warlords joining them in the process. They made a huge strategic blunder by pushing back the date that caused millions and millions of people to lose basic humanitarian liberty, that caused thousands and thousands of people to die, killed a bunch of U.S. service people, and made the administration look retarded in the process. It was not a good idea. But they did it anyway, simply because they stupidly believed that they could rob the withdrawal date from Trump and make him look bad. That was a strategic error on their part. Lord of the Ree, it's really sad that John LaJoy turned into a word that I can't, a bundle of sticks, basically. Yeah, there are certain things I can't say on YouTube, by the way, just to let you know. Das Lil Tractor. Hey, Sticks, just got my order of biltong 2 weeks ago. Good. The Wagyu is excellent. My mother and I both love stuffing our mouths with Anton's meat. Yeah, the Wagyu is good. The Carbonasi is good. The bison is good. I haven't had anything that's not good from Anton's, actually. Lightning Stab. What do you expect from JFK files once released? Assuming that they're released, I expect them... Look, don't get ahead of yourself. They'll still be redacted. Even if RFK Jr. is part of the administration, even if he's the goddamn head of the FBI, the Uniparty will do whatever they can to shuffle those files around from agency to agency to shield them. You'll get something, but you won't get as much as you want. Zedekiah. Why should we not be black-pilled about the seemingly close polling numbers between Trump and Harris? Well, compare them to the polling numbers in 2020 when the election was decided by a couple 100,000 votes. That's basically the answer. Mookingbird, do you think Trump should just change his ticket to Trump, Vance, Kennedy and just pitch to Americans as a triumvirate? RFK said on Fox, more Dems will be joining Trump's campaign soon. Do you know who? Yes, Tulsi Gabbard actually is expected to officially endorse, and she's not the only one. No, I don't think you need a triumvirate ticket. I think you need to maintain the course right now. The bonus holes. On a lighter note, again, we sent our first EP for mastering last week. Not going to name drop just yet, but it's being done by someone from one of our favorite bands. Hopefully we aren't forced to come up with a new band name to release it. Cool beans. Can't wait to hear it. Freedom. Will Dems keep power with a continuum of governance if Russia uses a nuke against NATO supplies to Ukraine? No, that's not going to happen. Next news story. Finally, the Democrats have found Trump's Achilles heel. Ridicule him. You haven't been doing that this entire time? It's been 9 long years of nonstop ridicule, persecution, and wall of propaganda. The idea, this is another layer of propaganda on top of the propaganda. The new layer is Trump is humiliated and shamefaced and feels bad when he's insulted. I don't think so. It's basically an equivalent of the poopy pants thing. Trump pee-peed himself. Trump pissed himself in fear. Trump pooped his pants in humiliation and shit like that. We've seen these political cartoons since 2015, though. There's nothing new under the sun with regards to this. You have thrown literally everything you possibly could at this man, from top to bottom, in every way, not even just politically, but also legally, fiscally. You've got obstruction by the Uniparty, even his own fellow Republicans. Just literally anything that you could possibly do to try to cockblock him. I don't think that he cares if you ridicule him. I think that he smiles at it and finds it funny, actually, more than anything else. But they still keep astroturfing as though, well, if we just mercilessly mock him, somehow that'll magically stop him from taking office. But you've been doing that the whole time. He won the first time around. It didn't seem to stop him in 2016. Then the warning of the dangers of a second Trump term. What dangers? Whoa, my God, we didn't start a war for 4 years. Holy shit. That's going to damage our existential capabilities. These people are off their rockers, insane. Just wanted to bring that up because I found it so retarded. Wasted Bonehead, good morning from the grave. Liberals can't seem to comprehend basic logic. Yeah, like the basic logic, maybe you should switch up your strategy when it clearly hasn't worked. Well, we're just going to mock Trump. Okay, we've been doing that. Yeah, how much has that afforded you? Joe, she was the last person in the room because she waited for everyone to leave, not because she needed to be there, just for the talking point. Stan Lippman, we're bankrupt. With Trump, at least the dollar will last a little longer. Yeah, I know. The bonus holes. Don't worry, Sticks. We'll send you a pre-release copy of it when it's ready. Definitely not to pressure you into doing an album review, lol. Wouldn't dream of that. Sounds cool to me. Yeah, your music is pretty good, actually. Got a number of talented musicians and bands, actually, that follow the channel. You know, Sleazy, he pays attention, too. I've had him aboard as co-host a couple times. Sleazy P. Martini of Gua. He sells crack in the back. Josh Palillo, isn't it insane to think that a Kennedy is running and endorsing a Republican? Must be a complete freaking show with the Dems. Yeah, that's why they've been trying to cast him off as like he's actually right wing. Okay, he's far left on guns and abortion, apparently. He's even beyond Ralph Northam, et cetera, et cetera. But somehow now, because he doesn't have TDS, he's far right. Zach, the Celtics guy. Red Bull? Nice. Other favorite energy drink Sticks? There's one in the Netherlands that's my favorite, and it's just called 9. I buy the sugar-free version. Sugar-free energy drinks, if you're drinking Red Bull, it's not going to taste the same in Europe as it does in the United States. One of the chemicals, the sweetener, is banned in EU. So you can get it here and it tastes better. But it tastes like shit there. But the sugar-free 9, for some reason, it's just nice and smooth. It's almost got a buttery flavor to it. It's really, really good. Other than that, I drink white Monsters sometimes. You know, I'm a libertarian, so I'm supposed to. Wasted Bonehead. I debated a libtard who claimed that Trump was a coward for not agreeing to the debate. When I countered with Trump wanting 3 debates, they simply dismissed it and devolved to petty insults. That's the thing. How can the Harris campaign possibly be getting away? I mean, we know the reason. I'm being rhetorical here. With punting, wanting only 1 debate out of the suggested 3, saying no to that, and then bickering with ABC and the Trump campaign over the microphone rules, and then say that Trump is the one that's being cowardly. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It only makes sense when you assume that the legacy media is working with the Kamala regime, which it is. Science news time. Zapping sand to create rock could help curb coastal erosion. Low voltages generate minerals that bind grains together into a limestone-like aggregate. So they're trying to figure out whether it's feasible to use like basically an energy system underneath the sand to solidify it. This means that you'd have some sand above it because you want that. But then below, it wouldn't just be sand. It would be basically a form of rock. And they apparently can successfully do this. Sending just 4 volts through a sand and seawater mixture for 28 days triggered mineralization. Using a rod-like electrode with a diameter of 2 centimeters could create a tube of rock up to 80 centimeters across. Calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide were the most common minerals. It is, in essence, limestone, Rata Loria says. This is from Earth and Communications, Earth and Environment. The mineralization method is eco-friendly. The voltages are too low for marine life to feel. We'll get into that maybe. And should be economical, Rata Luria notes. The process would likely cost between $3 and $6 to solidify a cubic meter of seawater-soaked sand, the team estimates. Trucking in sand can cost roughly $14 to $30 per cubic meter, taking billions to replenish a beach. I think you're going to need to do both. It's a novel idea, actually, one that does, I mean, if it's economical, it sounds like a decent idea. You can make it even more economical. You can hook up a solar system to it and literally just continuously replenish the beach. But most people, when they go to the beach, they want sand, not limestone. So number one, you're going to have to do it below the actual outer layer of sand. And number two, I question whether even low voltages so close to shore wouldn't have an impact on sea life. You've got to understand that most of these creatures in the ocean have a much more advanced sense of electrification than like humans have, unless you get zapped by lightning like I did that one time with the screen door when I was trying to close the window. Interesting story that I've told before. Like whales, for example, when they're trying to navigate, dolphins. I think you might, if you deployed this on a large scale, animals that come in too close to shore might beach themselves or something like that. That would have to be part. You need a more unlimited study. If it turns out that's not the case, then perfectly fine. I mean, if you can solidify the underpinnings of the beach, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you end up with 5 or 6 humpback whales on the shore, maybe you've actually, you know, the medicine is worse than the disease, so to speak. The bonus holes. Any other bands watching this, hit us up wherever we're not banned. Comment on our post with clank and at us, and we'll add you back. Sounds cool, my man. By the way, please send no more super chats. Last Beacon sent a bunch of tits. And Wasted said, I agree with Last Beacon. Also, Kamala is a hoe. Yeah, tits are fun. In the hunt for alien life, is man truly the measure of all things? This is basically, I'm just going to read this part. Vojan Rasic, I probably mispronouncing that horribly, a Serbian philosopher, calls these anthropocentric solutions, and there are several of them. He's released like a new sort of point of view with regards to Fermi's paradox and the existence of alien life. There are several proposed solutions, and I'm going to go through his classification because it's part of his study. Let's see. Where's the first one? Where are you? Shit. Annihilation solutions and communication barrier solutions, and then there's the zoo solution. Annihilation solutions hold that planet-wide catastrophes happen from time to time, like the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. I mean, that's inarguable. Or that intelligent species cause their own extinctions with war, weapons, or environmental damage, or destroy intelligent life elsewhere, either as a means of protection or to grab resources. I think that that's probably happening. Communication barrier solutions question whether alien civilizations are too far away or are incomprehensible to humans. This one is also true. Or if they, or we, only exist for a relatively short period of time, or whether intelligent extraterrestrials chose to hide themselves. A scenario discussed in Neo Season's sci-fi trilogy, Remembrance of Earth's Past. The zoo hypothesis proposes that extraterrestrials leave Earth alone to let it develop naturally, a kind of prime directive, as was self-imposed by human space explorers in the Star Trek universe. Rasik's proposal, and again, my apologies to this particular scientist slash philosopher if I'm mispronouncing your name, and I probably am, goes further, providing an alternative solution to the Fermi paradox that goes beyond the solution that aliens are so intelligent and advanced humanity cannot perceive them, but that a fragment of the solution is that being proposed in this paper, he writes. They don't have to take a new form to avoid human detection. They may have always existed this way. They might exist all around us, even if they don't surpass us in intelligence or have very little intelligence at all. He then suggests that they might be made of dark matter and things of that nature. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the hypothesis writ large. I think it's a combination of the others. I think that extraterrestrials are capable of hiding themselves from us and probably would be wise to do so. If they're less intelligent and therefore unable to, understand why they should do that, then probably we're not hearing anything from them because they're not technologically advanced enough. I think that life is sparse in the universe. It does exist out there. I guarantee that there are other intelligent, sentient species, as well as plenty of planets with less intelligent life. I'm sure they're all over the place. But the odds of it springing up in your particular galactic cluster are fairly low. So probably there are a few hundred intelligent species in the Milky Way. They're going to be generally too far out. We're in a backwater. That's another solution to the Fermi paradox, is that we're in a backwater. We just happen to be in an area of space that has a low population density. If we were closer to the core of the Milky Way, we'd probably be doing a little bit better. You get more energy in your systems. The stars would be a little bit closer around you. It'd be quite impressive to see the night sky if you were in the middle of the Milky Way, by the way. You can't even fathom it. But that our planet is in an area that simply, by chance, or by design, simply doesn't have much going on around it. We're on the outer rim of the Milky Way. We're nowhere near the center of action. If life proliferated closer to the center of action, where the stars are more compacted, more close together, it's entirely possible that it moved from planet to planet, developing, hybridizing, evolving, and so forth, and that there are multiple sentient species. There could be a whole goddamn economy in the middle of the Milky Way, but we're not part of it. The third reason would be because any extraterrestrial life that understood anything about basic biology is going to avoid this planet like a fucking plague. It's surrounded by a death shroud. Viruses, bacteria, pollen, all of the fungus, all of these other things. They don't want to contaminate themselves. They're not going to get anywhere near our planet. Not unless they're retarded. If a space alien species does come to our planet, trust me, it's not going to be the most advanced one. And it's unlikely that intergalactic travel is even physically possible. Interstellar? Yeah, I mean, we can achieve that with today's technology. If we had another 100 years to develop it, of course, it'd probably become fairly easy. But intergalactic space travel, the only real way feasibly to do that, when you'd require extremely exceptional mathematics, you'd probably load a giant capsule encapsulated within an asteroid or something with genetic material and landing thrusters or whatever the fuck you would have, or anti-gravitational machine, whatever it takes to land successfully on that planet across another galaxy. And you'd load it with genetic data programmed into a computer. and with a process to create the raw components to basically stitch together several babies or something like that. And then you'd have like a robotic butler taking care of them and emulating a parental figure. You'd end up with a very stunted and strange sort of offshoot of humanity that wouldn't quite understand human emotion the same way that we do. Intergalactic travel is probably not possible, but it's possible to travel in an interstellar manner. We've basically already done that. Anyways, I got off on a little bit of a science tangent there. Last super chat, Rumble rant, plants, fucking plants. Lord of the Sticks. I know you can't say that word on a YouTube stream. I just wanted to say it because the day we stop saying bundle of sticks is the day these bundles of sticks win. Yeah, well, I try to follow the rules because otherwise there's no way for me to promote other sites. So I want Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey and all these other sites to grow, and the best way to do that is to appeal to people that are more on the mainline tech side. So yeah, I'll look at that cable circle thing later from Happy19. And also, remember, I go live with the quartering at 1 p.m. I think he has a show today. He's probably messaged me. Let me see. He usually messages me with the StreamYard link around this time. And of course, Twitter's not letting me load my DMs. Twitter has improved in some ways. As the bonus holes have pointed out, there's still some censorship on the site. But one bitch that I really have about it, at least for desktop users, loading the goddamn direct messages is a goddamn hassle. You have to go to the home page and scroll down and then wait a while, then go back to your messages, and sometimes it will load. Like earlier, it took me a half a fucking hour to load them. I couldn't even see the goddamn news tips. There's probably some there that I still haven't seen. Or then they don't load very, very quickly. Or then the page only half loads. Like you only see part of the new messages that you get. I think it has to do with the fact that I get so many. I mean, that's understandable, but Jesus. BW, vegan soy boy aliens. No way, dude. Just look at the meat teeth on those talking apes. That's the other thing. If they've developed an advanced sense of ethics, maybe they completely disagree with the way we live our lives. Could be their religion, could be their civic code, could be some sort of moral philosophy of some sort. Cat cans. I've tried to DM you like 5 times and has basically made me recover my account for trying. Yeah. No, I mean, there's a big problem. The mainline site is more functional and faster than it was before, but the DMs really, really need to be worked on. And I'm really hoping they don't do what YouTube did and eliminate them. Of course, there are going to be people that are doing, perverted shit or whatever on DMs. But, can I please have one mainline website where I still have a direct message functionality? Because YouTube DMs back in the day were extremely useful. Because mainly I was just a YouTuber at the time. It allowed me to coordinate with other content creators. It allowed me to communicate with fans. It allowed me to get people they wanted to message me, asking me for advice or giving me a news story or something. Can't do it on YouTube anymore. They eliminated the functionality. And I know why they did it. It was because they had the whole kerfuffle about, people under 18. And then it was around the same time that they parsed YouTube. So you have basically the kid-friendly stuff, and then you have, the adult stuff. And that made sense. But eliminating the direct messaging feature was never necessary. All they had to do was take people that are in the kids section and prevent them from messaging people. Allow the adults to message one another. And they didn't think to do that. Anyways, I'm going to go offline now. Again, I will be live at 1 p.m. with the quartering. I'm going to rest a little bit in the meantime. I do have to get out to the garden, but right now it's still a little bit too hot for that, actually. I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow when I don't have a second stream to do, and then I'll get my ass out there and harvest some fucking green beans and shit like that. Got like a dozen jalapenos off that one plant just yesterday. Several Reaper peppers, actually. My dad, I'm sure, will polish them off in short order. A shit ton of Swiss chard out there. I'm still trying to rehab the garden, though. It's going to be a monumental effort. I mean, it's half done, but it's not wholly done. I'm just waiting until the weather is cooler in order to do that. because it's easier to do manual labor when it's 60 degrees and when it's 75, 80 degrees. So yeah, I'll, let's see. Callisto Protocol is free on Epic until the 29th, full base game. Interesting. But yeah, I'm going to go offline now. Oh, one more super chat. Acolyte, remember hearing you say you had like 150 to 200 books. If you could only save 5, what would they be? At this point, I have more like several thousand books, I think. The Elfin Ship by James P. Blaylock, a copy of the Lemegeton, my own edition, of course. Copy of the Petit Albert, because it's the only book that I released that ever got taken up by a full-line publisher. Let's see. Ernest Thompson Seton's book for the Boy Scouts. I'd keep that one because my grandpa gave that to me. That one I would definitely keep. It's fascinating, too. There's a lot of knowledge about herbs and things like that in there. What would the 5th book be? I don't know, actually. Looking over there. Not sure. I guess Lake Monster Traditions. That was by Claude Gagnon, actually. Fascinating, but another one that my grandfather gave me. Unfortunately, I left my copy in the Netherlands, and it's probably been ripped to shreds by now. My daughter decided that it was fun to pull the pages off, and so it's a little bit fucked up, actually. Unfortunately, it's a good book, though. Red Fire Frog, where I'm at, it'd kill sticks. Now I can take the heat, but when it's hot, I just don't want to have to use a maul. It weighs like 20 pounds, dude. You have to work it through the soil in order to plow things up. If I'm going to do that kind of labor, number one, I'm going to need a bandana. I'm definitely going to be shirtless. And I'm going to wait until it's like 60 degrees because it works better. So yeah, I'm going to go offline. I'll be live again at 1 p.m. with the quartering. I will share out that link when I can actually access my Twitter DMs, which, is, it'll happen at some point, I suppose. That's about all. Peace out.